You know what's worse than losing? It's losing when you're so close to winning. It's losing when you know you should have or could have won. And maybe the score is very, very close. And when the score's close, you begin to feel nervous. Your body might start to shake a little bit because you're cautious of making mistakes, and maybe you're a little afraid of playing your game, playing all out. Today, this happened to me. I was playing mixed doubles with my partner in a tennis tournament. We were so close to winning the first set, but we lost it 4 games to 6. By then we had kind of warmed up our bodies, we figured out our opponents, and we were ready to attack for the second set. And we did. We won the next set 6 games to 2. Now, since they won a set and we won a set, it's called splitting sets. And when you split sets in tennis, sometimes you have to play what's called a 10-point tiebreaker to decide the winner of the match. Now, talk about pressure. Like these 10 points, whoever gets to 10 points first, winning by 2, would be the winner of the match. Now, I didn't feel pressure too much at the beginning of the tiebreaker, but once the score was 8-8, I started to feel my muscles tighten up. I was a little more shaky. I mean, it was close. We knew exactly what we needed to do to win. However, you think about it. One unforced error would make a huge difference in the score, and they would have the upper hand. So I was trying to shake it out. I placed the ball in the court. I wasn't making mistakes, but I was playing with caution because I felt pressure. It was a little too graceful of my tennis shots, though, because they were able to take advantage of what I hit in. We ended up losing the tiebreaker 10 points to 12, and it just really sucked. I mean, we know we could have won, and we were feeling pumped. The good news is I didn't let the pressure feeling get to me too bad. I'm going to explain to you guys how to deal with pressure and what I did to kind of, even though we lost, I felt like I dealt with the pressure feeling pretty well. They just had the upper hand and they won the first set. But this is how I dealt with it. And this is what you need to do if you are feeling pressure in your match. You need to take slow, deep breaths. Shake your muscles out a little bit. And then I want you to imagine yourself playing the best you've ever played. I literally do. I imagine this. I imagine, they're hitting the serve to me and I'm just going to crush it. I'm going to hit it the way I know how to hit. And I'm not going to worry about if I make the mistake. Because let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. Would you rather lose the match knowing that you tightened up and the pressure got to you? Or would you feel a little bit better, knowing that you played the best of your abilities and it just didn't work out in your favor? Now, I would for sure choose the second choice. I mean, forget about who's watching or who your opponent is. You can control how you feel and how you react to pressure. Like, you are the boss of you. And only you can make yourself feel like all shaken up and nervous or pressured about winning or losing. So, not only can you do that, but take the slow, deep breaths and just imagine yourself crushing it. Here's something else you can do. Have you thought about practicing pressure? Now, I know that sounds a little weird, but I mean, put yourself in a situation where you feel pressured, and then when you're in your tournament or wherever you're playing your opponent, if you are feeling pressured, you've practiced it. So when you're training, before your matches or your tournaments, you can literally practice not having the upper hand. You can practice having a lot of people watching you, or you can practice just, maybe whatever makes you nervous, put yourself in that situation. Because if you practice feeling pressured, soon you'll feel accustomed to it, and soon it won't bug you as much when you're actually in the situation of feeling pressure. if you don't practice whatever, you're doing, then when you're in the literal situation of that, it's not going to go in your favor, most likely. Now, like I said, I hadn't practiced. This was my first tournament in a while. I wasn't practicing pressure, so the time it came to it, it got to me a little bit. Even though I've been playing this sport for 14 years, and it just kind of, I've been out of practice. But I had fun. I learned a lot, and I learned enough to say that practicing pressure is something that's very important. So those are my I guess 3 tips for you on how to deal with pressure. Slow and deep breaths. Imagining yourself being amazing, the amazing person that you are, and then actually taking the time to practice feeling this way. I think that doing that is just going to help you really deal with pressure. So that's about all I got for you guys today. Put in the comments your questions, or maybe what you'd like to hear for my next video or podcast or whatever. And then, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. It's at Marissa.Johnson. _ Marissa.Johnson, sorry. And my Facebook page, Games That Match. So hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time.